Let's go ahead and get to my first guest of the evening. Guest as in plural. They are an Americana band from Florida. They have a new album on the way entitled Only First Names Die. They call themselves Six Time Losers. They are with me right now. How's it going, fellas?
Oh, it's going great.
Awesome. So, who is calling in on behalf of the band this evening?
You got Butch Wisdom here.
And Otis Lee Miller on the line.
All right, I got two of y'all. That's awesome. I appreciate y'all being on. We're gonna talk about this new album in just a bit. But first things first, give us a story as to how did Six Time Losers became a band? How did that came about?
Tell them about it, Otis.
Well, honestly, it's a long time in the making. Butch and Lester and I have all been playing in bands together since we were in high school, so you're talking about going back 20 plus years. But Six Time Losers itself actually started off as a songwriting project, and we had so much fun putting the songs together and putting a band together in the studio that we just decided to call it a band, and we started playing shows around 2009, and we've been doing this thing ever since.
So I'm pretty sure y'all get this question a lot, whether it's shows or previous interviews y'all have done in the past. And I'm curious. I gotta ask this question. The the band name, Six Time Losers. How how do y'all came up with that particular name?
Oh man, we get that one almost every time we go out. People are always asking us. Uh, it seems like everybody's got their own story behind it when they come up to ask us too. Oh, you guys been married 6 times or been to jail so many times or whatever. Da, 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 da. But no, actually, it's taken from a line from a Bob Dylan song, "Subterranean Homesick Blues." And we're both big fans of Dylan. Thought it was a catchy line. Decided back in the day if we ever came up with a project together, Otis Lee and I, that'd be the name of the band, and here we are.
Intriguing. Intriguing. Um but hey, I guess it works. You know what I'm saying? It you know, when you have the name it sticks and it looks like it definitely sticks. Um y'all are such an incredible band, and I've got the chance to hear some of the songs on the new album that y'all have coming out. Only First Names Die. For what have heard, it is a very diverse album. Got genres like folk, alt, country. It's a definitely well-rounded album, body of work. I'm very excited of this album being released. Talk about this is a two-part question. Talk about recording this album and what made y'all name the title or name this album Only First Names Die.
All right, I'll take the first half of that question. This is Otis Lee. Yeah, the recording process. Overall, it turned into an incredible time. When we started off, we had certain plans of using some of the nicer studios here in Orlando. We're from the Central Florida area, but we actually ended up getting the opportunity to go up to Capricorn and Macon, which is, obviously where a lot of legendary records were recorded in the 70s. It had been closed, since the early 80s, I believe, and they had just reopened. We got a chance to get in there about 3 weeks after they opened. And it was like a time capsule. It was crazy. All the gear was new, but as far as the studio goes, it was just like we walked straight into Capricorn in 1979. So that's where we started the first sessions, and we laid down drums. We ended up going back there for a later session to do a bunch of keys, organ, piano, and then the rest of it was pretty much done mostly in my studio. We've got a bunch of, we don't have a big fancy console, so we can't do a lot of tracks at once, but we've got a ton of high quality mics and preamps, so it's not too hard to get the quality sound one track at a time.
And as for the name of the album, there's a theme that kind of resonates throughout the album. I mean, there's a theme that resonates throughout the universe, and it's the circle of life, comings and goings, adversity, and either overcoming it or it overcoming you. The decisions we all face, things like that. And you alluded earlier as to how diversified the sound was on the album. I really feel that the album is very diversified. There's a lot of individuality, but yet it all gels together, and that's a lot how life is, and how complex we are as people, and the billions that there are on the earth. How we all have our individual lives. We've all got our own stories. But at the same time, there's legacies. There's legacies that live on, and we all share stories. We share experiences. And while there's a lot of, around here, there's a lot of Freds and Bills and Jims and Toms, they tend to get forgotten. It's those last names, though, that live on, whether it's for good reasons, for bad reasons. We have songs that actually talk about some negative legacies that have lasted, and we have songs that talk about positive legacies. And that's just where the title came from, that only first names die, because those last names tend to live on, and that's really what people tend to remember. And it's not even so much about the names, just the concept that legacy lives on. There's a lot more things that are bigger than you and I that are going to live on forever.
Well said. A lot of thought went into this album. A lot of emphasis went into this album, and for the songs that I've heard, it is a such an incredible record. I think fans that's been following y'all for since the beginning are gonna really enjoy this album, and it's gonna be a must hear. So one of the songs, the standout songs on this album, is a track called East Coast Railway. And speaking of last names, it was written by Williams, who passed away 2 years ago. Talk about on writing that song. Tell us the story behind this track.
Yeah, that's a song that was written by Weston Williams, who was a member of the band who passed away a couple of years ago. And we really, it's another thing going back to the legacies involved in this album is something that it was a song that he wrote while he was a member of the band. And when we got a chance to go in and, spend this time and really record this high quality of an album, we really wanted to include a track that he had written, something to honor his legacy. And yeah, basically how this track came to Six Time Losers was he actually came over to my house for a co-write, and basically it was funny, we both had a song to work on, and neither one of us had ever heard them, and funny enough, they were both about a train, and basically his was way better than mine, so that was that was the one that got finished that day. And yeah, again, like I said, just not only that song and just wanting to really record something to to really cement his legacy as a songwriter. When we had the chance to do it at this high quality, we wanted to get one of his songs out there.
And yeah, again, as to the theme of the album, while Weston's not with us anymore, we still stay in contact with his family. I know that Otis Lee does such a good job of that. They're hard to get hold of down there in their part of town. And that song lives on forever. The memories of playing with him. So again, while certain things come and go. We leave lasting impressions, with what we leave behind. That's just, again, an overriding theme throughout this album, throughout this project, really.
Yeah, for everyone that's been supporting Six Time Losers since day one, he definitely left the mark on this band and the music that y'all present. And it's awesome to hear that he contributed to this album before his passing. Rest in peace to Weston Williams. Definitely condolences to the family, obviously. And the fact that y'all still here doing this music for him and in honor of him is a good look, and it's definitely gonna make listening to this album even more satisfying. Just for people to remember and reminisce what he meant to everyone as a musician, as a bandmate, as a friend, as a family member. He definitely left this mark on this band, and to musicians and friends and families that know him personally. So, respect to Weston Williams and his family for sure.
Yeah, respect. Well said, man. Well said. We definitely appreciate that, and that goes. Definitely goes appreciated.
Absolutely. So, with this new album on the verge of being released, the Six Time Losers have any upcoming shows, concerts that y'all have happening so that your fans can hear this new music in person? You got any shows you want to promote?
Tell them.
We got a big old show lined up for the album release. The album comes out on November 12th, and on the 14th we've put together a whole outdoor festival here at a local waterfront city park. We've got Elizabeth Cook as a headliner. She's Nashville based, but she was born and kind of grew up in her early years in Wildwood, which is only about 40 minutes from Claremont, even closer to where Butch is at. And we've got a couple other great local acts kicking it off: Shuffle Tones, Someday Honey. And beyond that, we're just getting ready to start booking for 2022. Honestly, we had, kind of cleared our calendar like most bands for the last 18 months or so. And luckily, that gave us the time to do what we wanted to do with this record. But yeah, we're playing this release show. And then from there, next year, basically, we'll be out and about like usual around the Southeast mostly. You might catch us further than that every now and again. But yeah, basically 2022 is going to be all about trying to get out and play these songs in front of as many people as we can, as long as, the world allows.
Yeah, absolutely. It is good to see live music back up and running. And while we're still dealing with this pandemic thing, obviously safety and healthy are top priorities for everyone involved. So everybody just please do what you can to be safe out there wherever it is that you do. Even if you don't go to music or you just want to hang out with family and friends and loved ones, just please be wise and just take care of each other. We seen some promise in 2021, and hopefully we can duplicate that in 2022 and do what we can to put an end to this pandemic. So we ways to go in that regard, but I like to say we're making some progress. I love going to live music and seeing local music and seeing musicians perform. It's just something that makes my weekends very, very special. So to see that y'all gonna definitely get into the swing of things next year with this album is gonna be a lot of fun too. You can check them out sixtimelosers.com for more details on the band and where they'll be coming to a city near you. And I do love me some Elizabeth Cook. I've seen her before. She's really good. So if you haven't seen her, do yourself a favor. If you're in the Florida area for next weekend, go check them out. Elizabeth Cook and Six Time Losers on the same show on the album release. That's gonna
I say,
be
this man's not lying. This man's not lying.
yeah. Elizabeth Cook is real good. She is real good. So go check her out. Go check out Six Time Losers as well. I appreciate chatting with you fellas. Thank you so much for your time. Only First Names Die. It's the new album for Six Time Losers that's coming out on November the 12th. And then the album release show will be on the 14th. So these fellas are in for a busy weekend next week. So
Yes.
be involved with that. Continued success, fellas. Congrats on the new album. I look forward to hearing it on the platforms. I got a pre-save on my Spotify, and I'm ready for the release radar to pop up on next Friday, so I can hear the whole album and repeat. So thanks again, fellas. I appreciate your time.